Welcome to Lifeline of Galveston County. We're excited you're here. First, thank you for choosing to volunteer with Lifeline. By joining our volunteer team, you've already made a difference. Every person who gives their time, energy, and compassion helps us provide the care, enrichment, and love our animals need while they wait for their forever homes. Whether you're walking dogs, spending time with our animals, helping care for the animals each morning, assisting in adoption events, or supporting us in another volunteer role, you're becoming a part of a team that's dedicated to giving every animal the best possible chance at a new beginning. The work we do isn't possible without volunteers. You are an essential part of our mission. The moments you spend comforting a nervous dog, playing with a shy kitten, or simply keeping an animal's space clean and comfortable have a lasting impact. Sometimes the smallest act of kindness can completely change an animal's day and even its future. This orientation is designed to help you get started with confidence. We'll walk you through our mission, volunteer expectations, safety guidelines, and the resources available to help you succeed. Our goal is to make sure you feel prepared, supported, and excited for your first volunteer shift. We know you have many ways you could spend your free time, and we're honored you've chosen to spend it with us. Together, we're giving homeless animals hope, healing, and the opportunity to find loving homes. Thank you for becoming a part of Lifeline family. We can't wait to see the difference you'll make, one shift, one animal, and one wagging tail at a time. Welcome to the team. When people think about animal shelters, they often think about finding homes for pets. And while adoption is a huge part of what we do, it's only one piece of our mission. Lifeline of Galveston County is a 501c3 nonprofit organization serving Galveston County and the surrounding Southeast Texas community. We exist because we believe every pet deserves the chance to live a safe, healthy, and happy life, and every family deserves access to the resources they need to keep their beloved pets at home. Our vision is a future where municipal shelters no longer have to euthanize healthy or treatable pets simply because there isn't enough kennel space. We know that reaching this goal takes more than sheltering animals, it takes a community working together. That's why our work extends far beyond the walls of the shelter. We support pet owners with resources that keep families together, assist our municipal shelter partners by creating life saving pathways for animals, promote adoption and foster programs, provide enrichment and care for animals waiting for homes, and engage compassionate volunteers like you to make it all possible. Every animal that leaves the shelter through adoption or foster care, every pet owner who receives support to keep their pet at home, and every volunteer who gives their time helps move us one step closer to that vision. As a volunteer, you're not just helping walk dogs or clean kennels, you're helping to reduce stress for animals, creating space for the next pet in need, supporting families, and becoming part of a community dedicated to saving lives. Together, we're building a future where every healthy and treatable animal has the opportunity for a second chance, and we're grateful you've chosen to help make that future possible. When people think about volunteering at an animal shelter, they often picture walking dogs or cuddling cats. While those are certainly some of the best parts, the impact of volunteers goes so much deeper. Every volunteer plays a role in helping us save lives. A dog that gets a walk today is less stressed, healthier, and more likely to make a great first impression on a potential adopter. A shy cat that spends time with a patient volunteer becomes more confident and has a better chance of finding a forever home. A clean kennel, fresh water bowl, or load of laundry may seem like small tasks, but together they create a safe, comfortable environment where animals can thrive while they wait for their families. Even if you're volunteering behind the scenes, answering phones, helping at adoption events, organizing supplies, or assisting with administrative projects, you're helping our staff focus on caring for animals and serving our community. Volunteers also allow us to do more than we ever could alone. Your time means more dogs get outside, more cats receive enrichment, more adopters are helped, more events can take place, and ultimately, more lives are saved. One of the things we love most about our volunteers is that everyone brings something unique. Some people have years of animal experience, while others are learning for the very first time. Some volunteer every week, while others come once a month. Every hour matters and every contribution adds up. Never underestimate the impact of your time. You may be the person who helps a frightened dog learn to trust again. You may be the reason a family meets their new best friend. You may even save a life without ever realizing it. As a volunteer, you aren't just filling a shift. You are becoming a part of a compassionate community working toward one shared goal, giving every animal the opportunity for a happy, healthy future. Thank you for choosing to be a part of that mission. Before we jump into the different volunteer roles, it's important to understand what life is like for the animals in our care. For many of the dogs and cats that arrive at Lifeline, the shelter is a completely unfamiliar place. They've often experienced significant change. Some have been lost, some have been surrendered by families who loved them but could no longer care for them, and others may have never known a stable home at all. Even though our team works hard to make the shelter as comfortable as possible, it can still be a stressful environment. There are unfamiliar sounds, new people, different routines, and many other animals nearby. Because of that, an animal's behavior in the shelter may not reflect who they truly are. A dog who barks loudly in their kennel may simply be asking for attention or feeling overwhelmed. A cat hiding in the back of their kennel may just need a little extra time to feel safe. Fear, excitement, anxiety, and overstimulation are all normal responses. This is where you come in. One of the greatest gifts you can give an animal is your time. A walk outside, a few minutes of gentle play, a quiet moment sitting beside a shy cat, or simply speaking in a calm voice can help reduce stress and build confidence. As volunteers, we always want to meet animals where they are. We never force interactions or expect every animal to respond the same way. Instead, we practice patience, observe body language, and celebrate the small victories. A wagging tail, a curious sniff, a cat stepping out of hiding, or a relaxed body posture. Remember, every positive experience helps prepare an animal for adoption. Your kindness doesn't just make their day better, it can help them become more confident, more comfortable with people, and ultimately more successful in finding a forever home. While shelter life can be challenging, it's also a place filled with hope. Every day, animals leave our shelter to begin new lives with loving families, and every volunteer plays a part in making those happy endings possible. One of the things that makes Lifeline successful is our incredible team of volunteers. While every volunteer brings different skills, experiences, and availability, there are a few expectations we all share. First and foremost, we ask that you be reliable. The animals and our staff count on volunteers to help provide daily care and enrichment. If you sign up for a shift, we ask that you do your best to attend. If something comes up and we know life happens, please cancel your shift as early as possible so someone else has the opportunity to help. We also encourage you to arrive on time and be prepared. Wear appropriate clothing, closed-toed shoes, and be ready to jump in. Every shift begins with making sure our animals receive the care and attention they deserve. Safety is always our highest priority. Please follow all volunteer training, standard operating procedures, and staff instructions. They're in place to protect you, our animals, and everyone around you. If you're ever unsure about something, don't guess. Ask. We'd much rather answer a question than have you feel uncomfortable or put yourself or an animal at risk. We also ask that every volunteer treat our animals, fellow volunteers, staff, fosters, adopters, and visitors with kindness and respect. Creating a welcoming environment is just as important as caring for our animals. Remember that every animal is different. Some are outgoing and playful, while others are scared and learning to trust again. Patience, compassion, and understanding go a long way. As a volunteer, you're representing Lifeline both inside and outside the shelter. We encourage you to be an ambassador for our mission by sharing kindness, educating others, and helping create positive experiences for everyone you meet. Finally, don't be afraid to ask questions. Learn new skills and try different volunteer opportunities. We want your volunteer experience to be enjoyable, meaningful, and rewarding. Our team is here to support you every step of the way. Thank you for helping us create a safe, compassionate, and positive environment where both people and animals can thrive. Now that we've talked about your role as a volunteer, let's look at one of the most important tools you'll use: Better Impact. Better Impact is our volunteer management system. Think of it as your volunteer home base. It's where you'll sign up for shifts, track your volunteer hours, stay up to date on announcements, access important documents, and manage your volunteer profile. Once you've completed this orientation and any required role specific training, you'll be able to log in and start signing up for volunteer opportunities that fit your schedule. One thing we ask every volunteer to do is sign up for a shift before coming to volunteer. This helps us make sure we have enough volunteers in each area, avoid overcrowding, and ensure our staff can provide the support and training needed for each shift. It also allows us to identify areas where we may need additional help, ensuring every animal receives the care they deserve. After each volunteer shift, don't forget to log your volunteer hours. While it may seem like a small step, it is a huge impact. If you ever have trouble logging in, signing up for shifts, or recording your hours, please don't hesitate to reach out. We're always happy to help. Better Impact isn't just a scheduling tool, it's how we stay connected with you and celebrate the incredible impact you make as a volunteer. Thank you for taking the time to keep your volunteer profile and hours up to date. It truly makes a difference. One of the easiest ways you can support Lifeline beyond the time you spend volunteering is by making sure you log your volunteer hours. Every hour you give has value, and every hour you log helps tell the story of the incredible impact our volunteers have on the animals in our community. You may be wondering, why is logging my hours so important? First, it helps us recognize and celebrate your contributions. Whether you volunteer once a month or several times a week, we want to acknowledge the time and dedication you give to our mission. Second, volunteer hours help us better understand where we need support. By tracking hours across different volunteer roles, we can identify areas that may need additional volunteers and ensure we're providing the best care possible for our animals. Most importantly, volunteer hours are a powerful tool when applying for grants and seeking donations. Many grant providers ask how many volunteer hours our organization receives each year. Those hours demonstrate community involvement and often strengthen funding opportunities that directly support animal care, medical treatments, enrichment, and life-saving programs. Even 1 hour makes a difference. Whether you're walking dogs, cleaning kennels, answering phones from home, helping in an adoption event, preparing enrichment, or reviewing approved training sessions, your time matters, and we want to make sure it's counted. Please remember to log your hours as soon as possible after each shift while it's still fresh in your mind. It only takes a minute, but it helps us tell the full story of what our volunteers accomplished together. Thank you for taking the extra step to record your hours. It truly helps us continue saving lives. One of our highest priorities at Lifeline is making sure that everyone goes home safely at the end of each volunteer shift, including you, our staff, our visitors, and the animals in our care. Working with animals is incredibly rewarding, but it's also unpredictable. Even the friendliest dog or cat can become scared, overwhelmed, or startled in a shelter environment. That's why we ask every volunteer to make safety their first priority. The most important thing to remember is this: never put yourself in an unsafe situation to help an animal. There is always another way, and our staff is here to help. If you're ever unsure, stop and ask. We'd much rather answer a question than have someone get hurt. Please follow all volunteer training, standard operating procedures, and staff instructions. These guidelines aren't meant to limit what you can do, they're designed to protect both you and the animals. Dress for safety too. Closed-toed shoes are required, and we recommend comfortable clothing that you don't mind getting a little dirty. Depending on your volunteer role, gloves or other protective equipment may also be needed. As you move through the shelter, stay aware of your surroundings. Watch for dogs entering or leaving kennels, volunteers walking animals through hallways, wet floors after cleaning, and equipment being moved around the building. A little awareness goes a long way toward preventing accidents. If you're ever injured, even if it seems minor, or witness an accident involving a person or an animal, notify a staff member immediately. Reporting injuries right away allows us to make sure everyone receives the care they need and help us prevent similar incidents in the future. Remember, safety isn't just a set of rules, it's part of how we care for one another. By working safely, you're helping create an environment where volunteers can enjoy their experience, staff can do their jobs effectively, and animals can receive the best possible care. At Lifeline, we believe that the safest volunteer is also the most confident volunteer. Never hesitate to ask for help. We're always here to support you. One of the greatest responsibilities we have as volunteers is helping every animal feel safe. Many of the animals who come through our doors are experiencing one of the most stressful times of their lives. They may be frightened, confused, overstimulated, or unsure who they can trust. Even animals who are friendly and social may react differently in a shelter environment. That's why we always let the animal set the pace. Every dog and cat communicates with us through their body language. Learning to recognize these signals helps us understand how they're feeling and allows us to respond appropriately. A relaxed body, loose wagging tail, soft eyes, or a cat rubbing against you are signs that an animal is feeling comfortable. On the other hand, a stiff body, tucked tail, pinned ears, growling, hissing, whale eye, or attempts to hide are all ways animals tell us they're uncomfortable or scared. Our job isn't to force an interaction, it's to build trust. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do is simply sit quietly with an animal, speak softly, or give them space they need. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do is simply sit quietly with an animal, speak softly, or give them the space they need. Trust isn't built in a single moment. It's built through patience, consistency, and positive experiences. Always respect an animal's boundaries. Never corner, chase, or force an animal to interact with you. If an animal appears fearful or you're unsure how to proceed, stop and ask a staff member for guidance. It's also important to remember that every animal has individualized care plans. Some dogs or cats may have special handling instructions, medical restrictions, or behavioral notes. Before working with an unfamiliar animal, be sure you've reviewed any posted information and understand any special requirements. Every positive interaction matters. A calm walk, gentle conversation, enrichment activity, or quiet moment together helps reduce stress and teaches animals that people can be safe. Your patience and compassion may be exactly what an animal needs to take the next step toward finding a forever home. One of the most important ways we care for the animals at Lifeline isn't always the most exciting, but it may be one of the most life-saving. Disease prevention starts with each of us. Just like schools, daycare centers, or hospitals, animal shelters have many individuals living in close quarters. That means illness can spread quickly if we're not careful. The good news is that simple habits can make a huge difference. The easiest and most effective thing you can do is wash and sanitize your hands often, especially when moving from one animal to another. Even if an animal looks perfectly healthy, some illnesses can spread before symptoms appear. Whenever possible, avoid sharing toys, leashes, bowls, brushes, or other equipment between animals unless they've been properly cleaned and disinfected. Taking a few extra moments to sanitize equipment helps protect every animal in our care. It's also important to follow our cleaning and sanitation procedures exactly as they're taught. The products we use, the order we clean in, and the contact times for disinfectants are all designed to reduce the spread of disease. If you notice an animal that appears sick, don't panic, but don't ignore it either. Signs such as coughing, sneezing, vomiting, diarrhea, discharge from the eyes or nose, loss of appetite, or unusual behavior should be reported to a staff member right away. Early intervention helps us provide treatment quickly and protects the other animals around them. Finally, if you're feeling sick yourself, we encourage you to stay home until you're feeling better. While many illnesses can't be passed between people and pets, staying home when you're ill protects fellow volunteers and staff and ensures you're able to volunteer safely. Disease prevention isn't just about cleaning, it's about protecting lives. Every time you wash your hands, disinfect equipment, or follow proper protocols, you're helping keep our shelter healthier and giving every animal a better chance at recovery, adoption, and a happy future. Thank you for helping us create a clean, healthy environment where animals can thrive. For many of our volunteers, spending time with the dogs is one of the most rewarding parts of volunteering. Whether you're taking a dog for a walk, providing enrichment, or simply spending a few quiet moments together, you're making a real difference in that dog's day. But before we interact with any dog, it's important to remember that every dog is an individual. Some dogs arrive at the shelter excited to meet everyone. Others may be scared, nervous, overstimulated, or still learning to trust people. Our job is to approach every dog with patience, respect, and an understanding that shelter life can affect behavior. Always begin by reading the dog's kennel card and any posted handling notes. These provide important information about the dog's personality, medical needs, training level, and any special instructions. If you have questions or aren't comfortable handling a particular dog, it's okay to ask a staff member for assistance. When approaching a kennel, move calmly and speak in a relaxed voice. Avoid sudden movements or loud noises that might startle the dog. Allow the dog to notice you before opening the kennel. Follow the kennel entry procedures you've been taught, making sure doors and latches are secure before removing a dog. A few extra seconds spent checking gates and leashes can prevent accidents and keep everyone safe. Once you're with the dog, let them explore at their own pace. Some dogs may immediately want affection, while others may simply enjoy walking and sniffing. Both are perfectly normal. Remember, enrichment isn't about making the dog do something. It's about giving them the opportunity to make choices, explore their environment, and have positive experiences. Always stay aware of your surroundings while walking a dog. Watch for other dogs, volunteers, visitors, and potential hazards. If you encounter a situation you're unsure how to handle, create distance if possible, and ask a staff member for assistance. Most importantly, never force an interaction. If a dog appears fearful, stressed, or uncomfortable, respect their boundaries. Sometimes the greatest gift you can give a dog is simply your calm presence. Every safe, positive interaction helps build confidence, reduces stress, and prepares that dog for a successful adoption. By following these guidelines, you're helping create an experience where both you and the dogs can enjoy your time together safely. Cats experience the shelter differently than dogs, and understanding their needs helps us create a calmer, less stressful environment where they can thrive. Many cats arrive at the shelter frightened and unsure of their surroundings. They may hide, avoid eye contact, or seem uninterested in interacting with people. This doesn't mean they aren't friendly. It simply means they're adjusting to a completely new environment. As volunteers, one of the greatest things we can offer cats is patience. Always begin by reading the kennel card and any notes before interacting with a cat. These notes provide important information about the cat's personality, medical needs, and any special handling instructions. When approaching a cat, move slowly and speak softly. Loud voices and sudden movements can be frightening. Give the cat the opportunity to approach you rather than reaching in immediately. Sometimes the best first interaction is simply sitting quietly nearby and allowing the cat to become comfortable with your presence. Every cat is different. Some will happily greet you at the front of the kennel, eager for attention and affection. Others may prefer to observe from a distance or stay tucked away in their bed. Both responses are perfectly normal. It's important to always respect a cat's boundaries. Never pull a cat from a hiding spot or force them to interact. Allow them to choose how and when they engage with you. Building trust takes time, and every positive interaction helps. Enrichment is just as important for cats as it is for dogs. Gentle play with wand toys, offering treats when appropriate, brushing cats that enjoy it, or simply providing quiet companionship all help reduce stress and improve their quality of life while they're waiting for a home. Always be mindful of sanitation. Wash or sanitize your hands between cats. Follow cleaning procedures carefully and never share toys or supplies unless they've been properly disinfected. Remember, many adopters meet cats while they're still adjusting to shelter life. The time you spend helping a cat feel safe and confident may allow their true personality to shine through, making all the difference when the right family comes along. Every quiet moment, every gentle interaction, and every act of patience help prepare a cat for their next chapter. One of the best things about volunteering at Lifeline is that there are so many different ways to make a difference. Every volunteer has unique interests, skills, and availability, and we want you to find the role that's both meaningful and enjoyable. Whether you prefer working directly with animals, helping at events, supporting behind the scenes, or even volunteering remotely, there's a place for you on our team. Some volunteers love the fast paced environment of morning animal care, helping provide clean kennels, fresh food and water, and a healthy start to each animal's day. These shifts are especially important because they help ensure every animal receives the daily care they need. Others enjoy dog walking and enrichment, giving dogs the opportunity to exercise, explore, and simply enjoy the outside of their kennels. Those moments reduce stress, improve behavior, and help dogs show their true personalities to potential adopters. If cats are more your style, cat care and socialization offers the chance to provide gentle interaction, play, and enrichment that helps shy or stressed cats build confidence while they wait for their forever homes. Some volunteers enjoy meeting the public through adoption events where they introduce adoptable animals to potential adopters and help families find their newest companion. We also have opportunities to volunteer remotely through our phone assistant program, helping answer adopter and foster questions when the shelter is closed, and ensuring our community receives timely support. As you gain experience, additional opportunities may become available, such as assisting with dog training, mentoring new volunteers, or supporting special events and community outreach. Remember, your volunteer journey doesn't have to stay in one role. Many volunteers enjoy trying different opportunities and discovering new ways to help. You might come to walk dogs and discover that you love adoption events, or start with cats and eventually become a foster or event volunteer. No matter which role you choose, every volunteer shares the same mission: improving the lives of animals and helping them find loving homes. The most important role isn't dog walker, cat volunteer, event volunteer, or phone assistant. The most important role is lifesaver. Because no matter where you serve, you're helping create brighter futures for animals in need. Great communication is one of the most important ways we keep our volunteers, staff, and animals safe. At Lifeline, we believe there is no such thing as a bad question. Whether you're volunteering for the first time or you've been here for years, we want you to feel comfortable asking for help whenever you need it. You won't be expected to know everything on your first day. In fact, learning is part of volunteering. If you're ever unsure about a procedure, an animal's behavior, or what to do next, please stop and ask a staff member or experienced volunteer. We'd much rather answer a question than have you guess. Communication also helps us provide the best possible care for our animals. If you notice something unusual, such as an animal that isn't eating, seems lethargic, has a cough, an injury, or is behaving differently than normal, please let a staff member know as soon as possible. You are often spending valuable one on one time with our animals, and you may notice something that helps us catch a medical or behavioral concern early. The same goes for safety concerns. If you notice damaged equipment, a spill on the floor, an unsecured kennel door, or anything that could pose a risk to people or animals, please report it immediately. Addressing small issues before they become big problems helps keep everyone safe. We also encourage open communication about your volunteer experience. If you're enjoying a particular role, interested in learning something new, or struggling with a task, we'd love to hear from you. Your feedback helps us improve our volunteer program and ensure you have a positive experience. One of the best parts of volunteering is becoming part of a team. Our staff and volunteers all share the same goal: providing exceptional care for our animals. We support one another, learn from one another, and celebrate successes together. Remember, communication isn't just about asking questions, it's about sharing information, supporting your teammates, and helping us provide the highest level of care possible. Never hesitate to speak up. Your voice matters, and your observations can truly make a difference in an animal's life. Social media is one of the most powerful tools we have for helping animals find homes, reunite lost pets with their families, recruit volunteers, and inspire our community. As volunteers, you can play an important role in sharing our mission and celebrating the animals in our care. We absolutely encourage you to take photos and share your volunteer experience when appropriate. Your posts help introduce our organization to new people and show the incredible work happening every day at Lifeline. When sharing on social media, we ask that you always represent Lifeline in a positive, respectful, and professional way. Remember, when you're wearing a volunteer shirt or posting about your experience here, you're helping tell our story. If you take photos of animals, make sure you're doing so safely and without causing additional stress. Let the animals be themselves. We love authentic moments. If another volunteer, staff member, or visitor is in your photo, be sure you have their permission before posting. There are also a few things we ask you not to share. Please don't post confidential information, including medical details, bite incidents, owner information, internal shelter operations, or anything that could compromise an animal's privacy or well being. If an animal has a pending medical case, legal hold, or other special circumstances, allow staff to share updates through our official channels. If someone asks you questions online that you don't know the answer to, or they have concerns about an animal, adoption, fostering, or shelter operations, please don't feel like you need to respond. Instead, direct them to Lifeline's official social media pages, website, email, or phone number so they can receive accurate information from our team. One of the best ways you can support our mission is by celebrating the positive moments. Share adoption stories, volunteer experiences, fundraising events, and the joy of helping animals. Your enthusiasm may inspire someone else to adopt, foster, donate, or volunteer. Every post has the potential to create another life saving opportunity. Thank you for helping us share the heart of Lifeline with our community. As a volunteer, you'll become a trusted member of the Lifeline team. Along the way, you may learn information about our animals, adopters, fosters, pet owners, staff, or shelter operations that isn't meant to be shared publicly. Protecting that information is an important part of being a volunteer. Many of the animals in our care have unique stories. Some are involved in ongoing medical treatment, behavior evaluations, cruelty investigations, owner surrenders, or legal holds. While it's natural to be curious and want to help, these situations often involve sensitive information that should only be discussed by authorized staff. You may also have access to personal information about adopters, fosters, volunteers, or pet owners. This could include phone numbers, addresses, email addresses, or details about their personal circumstances. We have a responsibility to protect their privacy, just as we would want our own information protected. If you're ever asked questions by friends, family, or members of the public about an animal or something happening at the shelter, it's perfectly okay to say, "I'm not sure, but our staff would be happy to help you with that." You don't need to have all the answers, and you should never feel pressured to share information you're unsure about. Confidentiality also means being mindful of conversations inside the shelter. Discussions about medical cases, behavior concerns, or other sensitive topics should stay within the appropriate team members who need the information to care for the animals. By respecting confidentiality, you're helping us protect the privacy of the people we serve, maintain trust within our community, and ensure that information is shared accurately through the appropriate channels. When in doubt, don't share, just ask. Protecting confidential information is another way we show compassion, professionalism, and respect for everyone who walks through our door. While emergencies are rare, being prepared helps us respond quickly, calmly, and safely if one does occur. The most important thing to remember is this: your first responsibility is your own safety. If you're ever involved in or witness an emergency, stay calm and immediately notify a staff member. Don't feel like you have to solve the situation on your own. Our staff are trained to respond, and your job is to alert us as quickly as possible. There are a few situations you may encounter while volunteering, and it's helpful to know what to do. If an animal gets loose, do not chase them. Chasing often causes frightened animals to run further or become more fearful. Instead, stay calm, keep the animal in sight if you can do so safely, and immediately notify staff. They will coordinate the response and give you instructions. If you are bitten or scratched by an animal, even if it seems minor, wash the area immediately if possible and notify a staff member right away. Reporting every injury helps ensure you receive appropriate care and allows us to document the incident properly. If you notice a murder If you notice a medical emergency involving an animal, such as difficulty breathing, collapse, severe bleeding, or another urgent concern, notify staff immediately. Time is critical, and our medical team can respond much faster when concerns are reported quickly. If there's an emergency involving another volunteer or visitor, notify staff immediately and follow their directions. If emergency services are needed, staff will coordinate the response. In the event of severe weather, fire, or another building emergency, remain calm and follow staff instructions. Do not attempt to evacuate animals unless specifically directed to do so. Your safety is always the priority, and staff have emergency procedures in place for the animals. One of the most important things you can do during any emergency is remain calm. Animals often respond to our energy, and a calm, thoughtful response helps create the safest outcome for everyone. Remember, you are never alone during an emergency. Lifeline is a team, and we'll work together to respond safely and effectively. Being prepared doesn't mean expecting emergencies. It means being ready to protect yourself, your teammates, and the animals if the unexpected happens. Volunteering isn't just about giving your time. It's about becoming part of a community that's making a real difference in the lives of animals. Whether you volunteer once a month or every week, we want your experience at Lifeline to be meaningful, rewarding, and enjoyable. One of the best ways to make the most of your experience is to stay curious. Don't be afraid to ask questions, learn new skills, or try different volunteer roles. You may discover a passion you never expected. Many of our volunteers start in one area and eventually find themselves helping with adoption events, fostering, dog training, or mentoring new volunteers. Remember, volunteering is a journey. You don't have to know everything on your first day. Every shift is an opportunity to learn something new, build confidence, and make an even greater impact. We also encourage you to build relationships. Get to know other volunteers and staff members. Everyone here shares a common goal, and some of the best ideas, friendships, and support comes from working together. Lifeline is more than a place to volunteer. It's a community of people who care deeply about animals and each other. Celebrate the victories, both big and small. Sometimes success is seeing a shy cat accept treats for the first time. Sometimes it's watching a dog relax on a walk. And sometimes it's seeing an adoption photo of an animal you helped care for. Every one of those moments is worth celebrating because they remind us why we do this work. We also encourage you to become an ambassador for Lifeline. Tell your friends and family about your experience. Share adoptable animals, volunteer opportunities, and fundraising events. Invite others to volunteer alongside you. Every conversation you have helps grow our community of animal advocates. Most importantly, remember that your presence matters. The animals won't remember how many hours you logged or how many kennels you cleaned. They'll remember that someone showed up. Someone spoke kindly to them. Someone took them outside. Someone made them feel safe. And that someone is you. Thank you for choosing to spend your time, your energy, and your compassion with Lifeline. Together, we're giving animals hope, second chances, and brighter futures. Never underestimate the difference you make. Congratulations! You've completed orientation, and now it's time for the exciting part, your first volunteer shift. It's completely normal to feel a little nervous. Every volunteer, including our most experienced ones, had a first day. The important thing is to come with a positive attitude, a willingness to learn, and a heart for helping animals. Before your first shift, make sure you've completed any required role-specific training and signed up for your first shift in Better Impact. This helps us prepare for your arrival and ensures you'll be volunteering in the area that's the best fit for you. On the day of your shift, plan to arrive about 10 to 15 minutes early. This gives you time to check in, get settled, and ask any questions before you begin. Wear comfortable clothing, closed toed shoes, and anything else recommended for your volunteer role. When you arrive, don't be afraid to introduce yourself to staff and fellow volunteers. Everyone here remembers what it was like to be new, and we're excited to help you get started. You'll never be expected to know everything on your first day. As you volunteer, take your time. Focus on learning the routines, following safety procedures, and enjoying the experience. Ask questions whenever you're unsure. We would much rather answer a question than have you guess. Remember, your first shift isn't about doing everything perfectly, it's about building confidence. Every shift after that will become more comfortable as you gain experience. Before you leave, don't forget to log your volunteer hours in Better Impact. Those hours helps us recognize your impact and demonstrate the incredible support our volunteers provide to the animals in our community. Most importantly, have fun. Take the time to celebrate the little moments. A wagging tail, a happy purr, a dog enjoying a walk, or a shy cat beginning to trust you. Those moments are why we're here. Your first shift is just the beginning of what we hope will be a rewarding journey with Lifeline. We can't wait to see the difference you'll make. Welcome to the team. As we wrap up today, I want to leave you with one final thought. Thank you. Not just for completing this orientation, but for choosing to give your time, your energy, and your compassion to the animals and people of our community. Volunteering is one of the greatest gifts you can give. Time is something we can never get back, and the fact that you've chosen to spend some of yours with Lifeline speaks volumes about the kind of person you are. Because of volunteers like you, dogs get to stretch their legs and enjoy the sunshine. Cats receive the patience and companionship they need to come out of their shells. Families find their new best friends. Fosters receive support. Our staff can focus on providing life saving care, and together we create hope for animals who need it most. There will be days when you leave with a huge smile because you watched an adoption happen. There may also be days that are emotional or challenging. Animal welfare is filled with both joyful moments and difficult ones. Through it all, remember that your kindness matters. You may never know every life you've touched. You may not see every adoption, every recovery, or every happy ending. But every walk, every clean kennel, every kind word, every meal served, every phone call answered, and every moment of patience adds up to something extraordinary. You are now a part of a team that believes every animal deserves safety, compassion, and the opportunity for a second chance. At Lifeline, we don't save lives because of one person. We save lives because a community comes together, staff, fosters, adopters, donors, and volunteers, all working towards the same mission. Today, you became a part of that community. We are so excited to have you on our team, and we can't wait to see the impact you'll make. Welcome to the Lifeline family. Together, we're creating brighter futures, one animal at a time. Thank you for choosing to make a difference.